Stunning admission. James Clapper admits Steele dossier was used for Fisa surveillance. Extension by Joshua Kaplan for thegatewaypundit.com. In a stunning admission to CNN's Jake Tapper Wednesday, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper admitted the Steele dossier was used for an extension of Fisa surveillance. As I understand it, this was simply an extension of the original Fisa request, meaning that, or implying that apparently, there was information that was considered valuable that was being obtained via the initial Fisa request. Clapper told Tapper, that rhymes, Conservative Treehouse points out, as much as he is a stuttering doofus, and therein showcases his political value for the former administration, and to the extent that Clapper has previously stated, there was no attempt by the DOJ, FBI to gain a FISA-authorized approval for surveillance on any Trump campaign officials. None that I'm aware of. It is always valuable to listen to Clapper because he has a tendency, to let slip stuff that makes the black hats cringe. Cue the audio visible slippage inside tonight's interview by Jake Tapper, former DNI. James Clapper now unwittingly refutes his previous assertions of no Trump Fisa warrant and simultaneously lets it slip out that the Clinton Steele dossier was not used in gaining origination authority to Fisa 702 surveillance, but rather for an extension of a previous application of Fisa 702 surveillance. You can say it any which way you want to say it.
Your reaction to this news?
I want to get just to the point.
The guy in charge of supervising the Russia investigation, where is it headed, and asking him, are you on my team?
Well, it certainly is very reminiscent, unfortunately, of, although maybe not as direct, for the loyalty, a pledge of loyalty that he elicited from Jim Comey. And it seems to reflect either willful disregard or ignorance of the importance of separation of the three branches of government.
Yeah.
We've also learned that the president asked Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe,
Let's get to the good part.
Is different nuance than eliciting a personal pledge of loyalty. And I think there's...
Again with the loyalty?
By Ray?
It's certainly be a very serious affront, and again, kind of an assault on the principle of the independence of the FBI.
Yeah, we know you're corrupt. The thing that struck
me about the statement first, good on Director Wray for making it, for no other reason than to protect, try to defend the great men and women of the FBI. But with all the discussion in the media about the potential jeopardy to sources and methods, the statement didn't say anything about that. What it dwelled on was the errors of fact by omission. And I think the fact that the FBI would put out a statement like that with that concern rather than sources and methods, and there may be sources and methods considerations here, but that to me struck me as quite significant.
The allegation is that, I haven't seen the memo, but Devin Nunes, in his public comments and some of the other comments we've seen, seems to be that the officials in the FBI who were seeking a FISA warrant against Carter Page, a Trump campaign advisor, relied too much on a political document, the Christopher Steele dossier, which was funded by Democrats, even if you trust the work of Christopher Steele, a former British agent, and that it was too much reliant upon that, and was not disclosed, and that the FISA warrant was obtained in a shady and less honest way than it should have been.
Well, my experience with FISA, request for FISA authorizations, is this is not a casual process.
Correct.
There's great rigor put into this.
Yes.
And the basis for the request must be corroborated evidence. And by the way, the FISA court is not a pushover. They're not a rubber stamp.
Correct.
They are my characterization of.
So how many times did they go to get a FISA warrant and they were declined? Because whenever Trump's name was in it, they declined it. That's why they went to get it through Carter Page. Then they, with the fake dossier there.
The demeanor and the way they comport themselves is one of respectful skepticism. So there's a pretty high bar that you have to pass to get a FISA authorization request approved in the first place. As I understand it, this was simply an extension of the original FISA request, meaning that, or implying that, apparently there was information that was considered valuable that was being obtained via the initial FISA request. FISAs have finite dates.
He already let it slip. In the very same interview, Clapper praises the dossier's author. Oh, we didn't get to see that. Former British intelligence officer Christopher Steele. Clapper then reveals U.S. intelligence agencies used the discredited document to corroborate its findings. The admission should come as concerning as Steele recently told a court that document contains limited intelligence. Yeah, we heard him say that. Steele also admitted part of his final December memo was unvetted. Let's take a listen here. I didn't hear Clapper praise Steele's dossier.
In other words, they have deadlines. They aren't indefinite. So when the time of was up for the initial FISA request, then was time to get an extension. So on its face, I don't know that the dossier played in this very much at all. It could be considered corroborating. And by the way, although we did not include the dossier in our original intelligence community assessment that we published last January.
You included a summary as an annex.
But it was separate from it because we couldn't validate the sources in it. However, some of what was in the dossier was corroborated in our intelligence community assessment, which was derived from other sources of information in which we had high confidence. So it shouldn't completely dismiss totally what's in the dossier.
Do you see
Steele is regarded as a credible and a retired professional intelligence officer in the UK intelligence service.
How damaging would the release of the Nunes memo be to the Mueller investigation, to the FBI, and do you agree with Democrats who are saying this is just an attempt to destroy the FBI to protect President Trump?
Well, it certainly has that appearance.
You're going
it
down.
It seems like now the chairman of the House Supreme Subcommittee for Intelligence is acting as an agent on behalf of the White House and putting out a one-party partisan memo and then refusing to allow the Democrats to publish or put out their rebuttal. So
what? They allowed the Democrats to view it, and the Democrats didn't come to view it. Oh, wow, what a liar. Yous are going down. Such intelligence was not actively sought. It was merely received. Steele added. I think that's a misprint. The dossier contains explosive but unverified opposition research that alleged intel ties between Russia and Trump, and also claims Russia holds blackmail material over Trump. That's in the Democrats' version. In what was the second major leak to come from the FISA abuse memo, a new report reveals Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein signed off on an application to extend surveillance of Trump campaign official Carter Page. That's why Rosenstein's shaking. In June, the Gateway Pundit reported Page sent a request to Rosenstein seeking the release of information used to allegedly obtain a FISA warrant to monitor his communications. Page, a former investment banker, was a foreign policy advisor to the Trump campaign, the Daily Beast recently reported. Former FBI Director James Comey, Bureau Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein are officially named in the, quote, shocking Fisa abuse memo. But that is funny. They are going down. Did you notice that Clapper and Tapper had very somber voices, very somber. You see what I'm saying? They were not like that before. They were arrogant before. Now they know their goose is cooked, so to speak. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.